everybody. Today we're going to learn how to make a Frisbee out of things that you have in your own home. Many of you might have a Frisbee at home, and that's great, but maybe you don't have one, or maybe you lost it or can't find it. So this is a way that you can build one out of things that you probably have laying around. Materials you're going to need are some tape, 3 pencils, a set of scissors, probably about 5 paper plates. They can just be these standard paper plates. You could probably even use the ones with the ripply edges because we're going to cut most of that off. And then an optional item is this small bowl to trace out. So let's get to it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take 1 paper plate and you're going to set it down upside down. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the little lip that goes around this paper plate. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to put 2 pencils down like this. You kind of make an H with the other one. You hold that tight, and that allows you to spin the plate around in a circle and trace a perfect edge around the edge of the paper plate. Once you have that, you can cut on that mark. Obviously, make sure that you check with an adult before using the scissors. Maybe using the scissors that work for you. All right, so I'm going to cut all the way around the edge. It doesn't need to be perfect. You do want to leave a little curve to the edge of it, just like a regular Frisbee would. It shouldn't be just a flat circle. So once we cut this out, I'll show you what that looks like. So it should have a little bit of a curve to it, just like a Frisbee would. All right, so it's starting to look like a Frisbee, but we're not there yet. Basically what you're going to do is you probably have 4 or 5 paper plates left, and you're going to repeat that same process. You're going to cut it, trace it, cut it out. Depending on the thickness of the plates, you might be able to cut 2 of them out at once. Trace it out again. You're going to cut the same thing. But this time, after we cut around the edges, we're then going to kind of make it into a donut shape, because what makes the Frisbee fly is having weight around the edges. So we found that if you cut one like this and then use a bowl to trace out an inner circle, make kind of a ring, that puts weight around the edge once you piece it together with the first piece that we did. Just using the bowl to trace out. Now this can be kind of tough to poke through, so you may want to ask an adult for help. I found that if you open up the scissors, you poke down the middle, and then you just pull up on the Frisbee, it makes a hole in the middle, and that will allow you to stick this in and start cutting it. But you may want to just ask an adult for help. So you're going to cut this ring around. It does not have to be perfect. Just watch your fingers as you're doing this. And you will have something that looks like this. So we've got our ring, and we've got our Frisbee base that we made. And now you're going to make about, I would say, a minimum of 3 of these rings. 4 would be the best. So you're going to make 4 more of these. All right, and I've already done that. So once we've got a bunch of these rings, here's how you put it all together. You're going to take the original piece, and you're going to take your stack of 4 rings, and you can put the ring on the top, just like that. You could put it underneath. I don't think it's going to make a difference of whether or not it flies. I always like to put it on the top, okay? And then you're going to use your tape. Take your tape and just make sure they're all kind of lined up nice. Tape under the edges. I would put at least 4 pieces of tape on your Frisbee. Now this will fly indoors, and it will also fly outdoors as long as it's not too windy. A light breeze, it'll cut through, but if it's really strong breeze, you might have to wait until a day that it's not as windy. So now our whole thing is taped together. You could use it like this and it would fly just fine. I do like to, like, one thing you could do is if you wanted to decorate the top of your Frisbee, because some Frisbees have like kind of neat designs on them, if you wanted to decorate it and didn't want this, this edge here, you still have the weight here. So you could add another flat piece to the top like this, and maybe you could decorate it before you tape it all up, draw on it, set it back on here, and then put another few pieces of tape around the edges, and that should do it. So by adding weight to the outside edges of this Frisbee, it's really nice. You can put your thumb on top, spread your fingers out underneath. All right, that does it with our homemade Frisbee. Now it's time to play.